All right. How is it going? Let's see. Let's unmute James here. There
Everybody.
you are.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right, we are live to the world. What's up, world? Mike Bowles, what's up, buddy?
What's going on,
Hello,
Mike?
hello. Welcome all, welcome all. This is some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Some crazy stuff and some crazy everything. What's up, Alan? How you doing,
Alan,
bud?
what's going on?
I can't even make this stuff up. That it is so crazy. CNN's reporting it now.
Yeah.
Isn't that? Thought I would never, 2020 is like, here you go, here's a pandemic. We're going to sneak some stuff into you. We're going to get you some relief.
I
And when
I
we do that, what's that?
I think 2021 looked at 2020 and said, "Hold my beer."
I think so. Oh my God, I really do. It's crazy. I really do. It's, I have no clue what to say. Like, I can finally grab my beard and my hair and go, aliens.
Yeah. Right?
This is right. This is real. Aliens.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
just, I don't
Thank
even
you
know. I don't even.
everyone for all the
Oh yes,
all
thank
the
you, thank you,
follows.
thank you.
We're getting a ton of follows right now.
Are we really?
Yeah.
Oh
Appreciate
wow.
everyone tuning in. Thank you.
Yes, thanks for the follows, guys. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, so is the 2021 brought us, some spoils, and we're
It,
all
it
going through it.
they announced that aliens were real. The
But the pandemic
extraterrestrial.
covered it up.
Yes. No, James did not get a new webcam. Did you, James?
This is the Logitech.
That's the one I gave you, right?
Yes,
Okay, cool.
I just
Nah, he's
finally
been using
configured it
that one.
right so you can. Yeah, so you guys can actually see me now. But
James
who
took
would have
some
thought?
time.
Yeah, I got a new microphone and everything, so you guys can hear me and do everything like that. Ricky, thanks for following. This is the time. Who thought it would take the world burning down
Yeah.
that we would start hearing murmurs or muddles of UFOs? This is crazy. Like it's been so crazy that within on December 27th, when President Trump signed that last stimulus for us to get our $600, this was incorporated into it and
Snuck in.
called snuck in
Snuck in. So,
to
some
start.
clarification.
It's
Uh, yeah, it was
I'm gonna let
basically it got sent back, right?
they got sent back, so they ratified it some, or they redid some stuff in this Intelligence Authorization Act for fiscal year 2021 was snuck in there.
So,
Because you know why? Somebody knew that, hey, if we sneak this in here, they're going to sign it because Americans need money. So let's try to get as much as we can out of it. And you guys want to know what that report is going to detail? Do you want me to
eh,
tell now, or do you want to debate real quick?
well, we can theorize what might happen. Like
So,
so
yeah,
I
you
talked
first. What do you
I
think? Just hearing that.
so on a more realistic, not being batshit crazy at the moment. I did talk to Josh. Josh
Okay.
is in the army, and he he asked a few questions, and no one knew anything. I don't want to. That was it. Like that was he said
Yeah.
no one was aware of it on his in his area or the people that he knows. Um, Now whatever that is, but um, not that he would tell me anything to be honest. If that. But
He would not be able to.
in a few in about a hundred so days, he can.
Fact. So, what gets me is if you guys have been watching the Tic Tac out there, or the TikTok for you people that use it, I should get a Tic Tac.
Oh God.
My breath stinks.
Tic
Nah,
Tac.
Tic Tac. So, if you've been watching the TikTok, there's been some viral videos of big cargo planes flying over, military jets flying over, massive amounts of battalions flying over, all gearing up for fiscal year 2021. I assure you, that all is not the weird stuff that's happening.
Yeah, well, it's weird,
That
crazy, but that's not. what we
That's not
have going
weird.
on here.
That unfortunately is a normal process done by our military at the end of each fiscal year, is moving everything back to their home station to get accounted for. So I can wipe that one off the TikTok
Well,
Twitter little plate.
so you know that how? So you got to give a little background for the people tuning in.
I did a stint in the United States, good old Marine Corps, and I was when I first got in the Marine Corps, I was a part of the Air Wing, and I was a fueler, so I would refuel fighter jets, cargo planes, transit planes, different planes going in, and and they'd be leaving the country, and that's when I would see the big shift. Is that always at the physical part of the year? I would see, but or squadrons I wouldn't see all year. They've been on leave to California for 9 months, but at that physical year mark, they're back at their home station,
Yeah.
getting accounted for.
So they do. So the military actually uses the. So it's actually their physical year is the start of the new year, because for
For some things, yes.
yeah,
For
because
some things, yes.
in July for businesses that's start of the new financial year. So I didn't know.
Fiscal year.
Yeah,
Fiscal year.
yeah, whatever. I'm not
The
in management, so I
man,
don't
man, man,
care.
man. Kevin's like whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
But so my thought is that we have enough newcomers in Congress. We got enough newcomers in the Senate and everything. Is that
Someone was ballsy enough to slip it in.
somebody was ballsy enough to slide this in the DM per se,
Just DM
slid this
this.
in the bill because they wanted to hear, they wanted to know. They really, really wanted to know what was going to happen and what was, what about UFOs? Dating back to the age old questions of the UFO crashes that we all know about,
Hmm.
which we're going to cover that here in a little bit. But in this act, when they first put this in, the Intelligence Authorization Act, the report must contain detailed analysis of UFO data and intelligence collected by the Office of Naval Intelligence,
Oh,
the
I got
unidentified aerial phenomenal. What?
I got something for you here.
You don't want me to finish
Boom.
what the
There it is.
you just interrupted me.
No, continue. This is the actual what you're reading from.
Oh yes.
I
Okay.
have it up on the screen. The advanced
Oh
aerial threats part of the bill.
yes. Okay. Hold on. So, the report must contain detailed analysis of UFO data and intelligence collected by the Office of Naval Intelligence and Unidentified Aerial Phenomena Task Force, which is a real thing if you didn't know that. An Identified Aerial Phenomena Task Force and the FBI, according to the Senate Intelligence Committee's directive. It should also describe in detail an interagency process for ensuring timely data collection and centralized analysis of all unidentified aerial phenomena, reporting for federal government and designated an official responsible for that process. Messed
Yeah,
up the last line there, but that's a Jamesism. You guys, don't worry, they come out a lot. Isn't this crazy? So they are asking for anything classified, dating back to Roswell, dating back to Lake Girardeau, and which we're going to cover that here in a little bit.
I mean, you literally it says
It's
unidentified aerial phenomenon.
it's crazy. So
You
no
know,
matter
yeah,
what it is, no matter what it is, we are finally going to find out in 2021 what UFOs are and what
yeah,
they're about. We are finally going to have answers for those UFOs. It is in legislature. It is in law.
yeah.
People,
This
we're
is
looking at it
past.
right
This is
here.
past.
It's
No one saw
crazy.
it. It got snuck in, and the only thing I can think of that might happen is they pass another bill nixing this.
Well, they could
Um,
pass another bill once they find out what it is, and then everybody who has read the report can be
no,
read
no, no, no,
into
no, no.
UFOs and then sealed.
This has to be done in front of a committee.
But it doesn't say the committee can vote to close committee it though. They doesn't have to say it's open to the public.
Well, that's true.
So they can close committee it, and then everybody on that committee gets writ into UFOs, and then boom, they know the secrets, and then it's buried again.
Well, Mike, I think they already know, but someone's trying to sneak this in. See, I don't know.
Yeah, and that's what I was just saying, Mike. I agree with you there because I think it's going to be sealed, signed, sealed, delivered. Once the committee finds out what's actually in the report, they're going to go, Oh shit.
So what is the Freedom of Rights Act? When is that valid to put on that information that the committee gets?
Like a day?
So the public can use that means to request it. Now, whether they actually give it to you or
That
not,
would
or
be,
how much is redacted, um,
we
you
don't
know,
know. We
yeah.
we don't know.
I didn't know
That
if there was like a certain timeline of how long something has to be.
No, in the report they said once the one after the 180 days and the report is ready to be submitted to the committee, it can contain a redacted classified section within the document that you don't want the public to see, but the committee can see.
Okay, at the bottom here it says the report shall be submitted in unclassified form, but may include some classified annex.
Boom, told you.
Yeah,
Act like I don't know
interesting.
what I'm talking about, you jerk.
No, 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 no. I'm just reading from the paper. This is the
I
bill
dumbed
that's
it down and took
passed.
it to I made it in James's words there.
Yeah, and anyone wanting to know, let me go back to us
Post the
here.
link.
Yeah, I'm gonna post the link here.
Yeah, go back so you can see us and then
Whoop, that's not what I wanted to do.
So what Kevin's going to do is he's going to show you guys. We're going to post this report straight from the actual act itself, and that is going to be the Intelligence Authorization Act for Fiscal 2021. Kevin's posting in the chat for you guys to
Yeah,
view,
it's there now.
and that kind of just covers what we were talking about with that going on with with Congress demanding that with the committee.
So, I mean, I,
But
I
lady, as you guys can recall, in 2018, was it?
Ricky,
No,
thank you
sorry,
for following.
2020. 2020, the Pentagon released 3 short videos, one from the Naval, or 2 from Navy, one from 2004 and 2 from 2015, which those are always um, those are already out. Those were published with the beginning of the year. That's kind of how they snuck in talking about UFOs at first, and I caught it then.
Hmm.
I don't know if you remember me talking to you about it.
Yeah,
Um, I caught it then,
I forgot I got a beer.
and oh, you forgot you got a beer. I got a Coke.
Hmm.
School night for me. Yes, Mike. So 180 days will put us somewhere around the 4th of July. How insane would it be for us to find out about
On
aliens
Independence Day.
on Independence Day while watching Independence Day? No, just kidding.
Which one?
Everyone. So for me, I don't know if you guys have seen those videos, and I don't know. I did not send you the link to those videos, so I
No,
apologize.
we've done an episode on it already. You can catch one of our previous videos on it. Go back in our Facebook feed and check that out. Because we did talk about that. That was
We
a
did.
big thing. It was like, holy shit, like they
What
just
I
said
want to cover,
aliens or like
yeah,
UFOs were
and we're just
real.
like, boom! It actually is. Oh, who's following us now? I can't read it. There it is.
Yeah, I think actually our follow thing might be a little broken at the moment because it's a repeat of the whole group of last
Oh,
time. I'm not for sure
oh,
what's
that's
going on
okay.
there.
That's all right.
Hmm.
Um, the Unidentified Aerial Phenomena Task Force. Did you
Yeah.
guys, let alone, did you know that existed?
Yeah, that's
Unidentified Aerial Phenomena Task Force. That is straight up X Files shit. Straight up. So with that, this task force has been around for a while.
and the person who has to give this information to the committee is the director of national intelligence.
Yes. Yes. So he then is going to present this information that is gathered because he is
Come on, make
he's
it a
one of the
fucking
only
public
ones.
hearing.
I
Please.
know. I will
Please
fly to
make
go
it
to
a
this hearing.
fucking public hearing.
If there's a
I'll
public hearing
dude,
on this, I will go. It's
I'll
6 hours to DC, bro.
well, I'd take the day off and I'd watch it. I mean, if they made it televised,
Yeah,
dude.
true.
Dude, I
But imagine
we should
I
we
don't.
would we should live stream that
If okay, guys,
if it
if that
happens.
happens, if it happens, Kevin and I will live stream the actual committee hearing and
which
be
will
giving
be
commentary
a bit
on it
dry.
at the same time.
It'll be a
We'll
bit
give
dry, and maybe
no, a bit dry. It'll be a
well,
bit dry,
well,
and
the
I'm gonna liven it
committee.
up.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. But maybe we could even get Josh in here.
Yeah, it'd be great. So, and my thing is, so mark your calendars whenever we're gonna pay attention to that.
Yeah, we're
Kevin and
gonna
I will live stream the whole thing if
if
they
it
allow us to live
happens.
stream,
Oh,
and we'll
oh,
be able to talk
I
about it live
it's a public
here.
forum.
If you guys,
I
yes,
can live stream it. Now, recording it and rebroadcasting it, I cannot do. Um, but
well, it'll just
live
be a one live
streaming
thing,
it,
and that's it.
I can do.
So that's crazy. So, is there any questions from the chat room so far that they want to ask about what they've listened or what they heard today about the intelligence operations? Blah, 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 blah. There's another James.
Advanced aerial threats committee hearing, possible
Yes.
committee hearing.
Yes, actually, Mike, yes, it is a great, great, great thing. There's a big one about a guy who was back in 2003 that said he came back in time to, to stop different people from taking power. And that's like a very, 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 very weird story if you ever heard it. You remember me talking to you about this, Kev?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
vaguely. I don't know much about it, but yeah.
Well, basically, a time traveler comes back into our time, is stuck here, cannot get back to his time, eventually gets in trouble, worked on Wall Street, got in trouble, and then got arrested in jail. All of a sudden, disappears from his cell, never to be heard from again. Nothing on cameras, nobody, nothing. And
Yeah.
so that's a story I read up on there a few times. There was something else I was going to talk about when I was talking about that, then I lost it.
It's funny.
Oh yes, I got it. I got it. I'm back. So yes, Mike. To answer your second part of that question, there has been a top Israeli official that has released a statement saying aliens are among us already and are awaiting or waiting for a good time to make themselves known, and maybe that time is in 6 months.
Can they just come out and say like they gave us the vaccine?
Something cool.
Yeah, just be like, "Hey,
Or
you're
get this.
terrified of us. We gave you the
What
vaccine. All right, you should be fine."
here comes my twisted brain, okay? Here comes my twisted freaking brain. What if some of us are the aliens that do not know, but when people are made aware of aliens, it's like we get activated.
What? Like Clone Wars
Blow your
shit?
mind. I
Like
don't know.
activate
That
Protocol
that's that
42?
I know that sounds so far fetched, but that's just what
Hmm.
runs through my head. It's like pseudoscience, and that's what my brain kind of like was thinking about there. So it's crazy. So for all of you, I want to cover a little bit of something that's going to kind of link our good old Tippecanoe County to some
Oh
UFO
yeah.
sightings. If
Well,
you guys are ready to talk about that, we'll talk about that for a little bit. Then we'll do a
yeah.
video
You talk
about
about
UFOs and
yeah. Well,
analyze it.
we'll talk about the one that well, we didn't personally experience. My wife did, but my wife is in bed right
Yeah,
now.
we can start out with that one. That's fine.
I mean, it's a short one. We
Yeah.
my wife worked at a dental office in Kokomo and was taking 26 back. So if you're familiar with the area, 26 is a road that links Lafayette and Kokomo, and it's just like a straight shot for the most part. But she was driving it, and she saw a bunch of cars pulled over. No, I don't think she saw something in the air, and she pulled over, and she got out and realized there's a bunch of cars and everyone out of their
That was what's
vehicle
crazy.
staring at this object in the sky, and it was cigar shaped. When we watched that Netflix show,
Yep.
that crazy one that's probably not true. Some of the stuff
Yes.
on there, they
Matched up.
yeah, so some of the stuff on there, she was like, "Yes, I saw some of that stuff," and she then called me and was like, "I just saw a UFO," and I was like, "Sweet, you got a picture?" And she goes, "No." I'm like, "What the fuck? What do you mean you didn't get a picture?" Like I was
I mean,
irate. Like
we say that. because that's the first thing we're gonna think about. But we don't
I,
think about it how normal people think about it is if something weird is going on.
my wife married me. She ain't normal. I love her. She ain't normal. She
but
married
if
me.
but if something is going on, yeah, she ain't normal at all, mind you. But people are snapping pictures of it. And what I like is that how we then hopped in your minivan, or was it my truck? I forget. I
It was the Civic. I
Oh,
had
the
my dad's Civic
Civic.
at the time, and we hopped into that and took it out there.
That's
Was
right.
it
And
the
then we were
Civic
going
or was
around.
it? It was either the Civic or
I
your truck. Doesn't really matter. But I called you and I'm like, drop what the fuck you're doing. UFO
let's roll.
spotted. We gotta go. And we saw helicopters.
Yes,
We saw what, three helicopters circling the area
there
where
were
she said she
three
saw it.
helicopters circling the field where we were and where approximately she saw it and everybody else was looking.
Yeah,
Coincidence? Possibly.
that's the
Thank you
closest
for
we've ever
turning into
had.
Unsolved Mysteries. No, I'm gonna link something to good old pre-university real quick. In 1941, I'm gonna set the scene, guys. Let's take it back. Hold on, let me set the mood. Bum, 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 bum,
My
bum.
lights are throwing it
Okay,
off, I guess. No.
all right. So we're gonna set the mood. We're gonna travel back in time, ladies and gentlemen, to 1941. A good old Cape Girardeau, Missouri. It's a small town in Missouri. Then something bursted out of the skies and crashed. It was on that crash in 1941. A priest walked up, a father walked up, approached the wreckage, and then found small bodies. Bodies that did not look like humans, bodies that looked like different things that weren't human. He had no explanations to their pale skin and everything like that.
Oh,
We think it's
nice.
over. So the authorities show up. And the reason why the father, I'm sorry, I should have said the authorities were there first. The reason why the priest or the father was there was he was called out to the scene to read last will and testament to some people.
Yes.
He shows up, they're not people. So they load up the bodies, they take them to the coroner's office. From there, they disappear. Oh, is that where your family lives? That's awesome, Lisa. But so from there, the wreckage gets gathered up. It gets taken to where the brightest minds in America are.
Brightest and
And can you get
youngest.
brightest and youngest? Can you imagine in the middle of World War II in 1941 where that would be, Kevin?
Oh, I know exactly where it is. I mean,
I'm going to tell you,
you
it's
you,
right here in Tippecanoe County.
you
It is
already
at
told
Purdue
us.
University. I know. So the wreckage was taken then to Purdue University to be analyzed. And then Kevin, you found out some when we kind of did this show on this past time. You found out that it was later tied to the invention of the microchip,
Yeah,
correct?
so I've you caught me. I'm just looking it up because I can't remember it. Um,
I was
um, let's see.
the
I
KY goblins is that a crash? There is actually you need to Mike a good series for you to check out while Kevin's doing that would be Hellier.
yes,
And it's going to go into the goblins and the crash sites and everything of what you're talking about. So Hellier is on Amazon Prime, right, Kev?
yes, it is. I don't know if it's Prime. I know it's on there. When we watched it, it was
Yeah.
yeah.
So that is something you need to check out, and it is called Hellier. 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 Anybody in this chat room, it actually would be a good thing for you to check out too if you have it. It is a very, very good series, um, and everything like that.
Oh, shit, I'm wrong. I'm looking at my. I know I have it in a notebook. Give me a sec.
Oh, you're fine. I'll go ahead while you're doing that, Kevin. I'm gonna give another a story real quick, okay? Of
Go ahead.
another one around here, okay? So if you're in the Lafayette area, Tippecanoe County area, there is a story in the old Lafayette, old part of the Journal and Courier of Lafayette. If you read this, I got about four stories to share out of this with you. That's going to tie it to some different things that happen around our city and around our county. By the way, you're welcome to James reading, so I will stumble on words and I will make it funny. So you are welcome. I'm more of an ad lib. I read it and then I recite it and make it my own. But okay, here we go. This was done by Bob Kriebel for the Journal and Courier, published May 11th, 2018. That's where all these stories are going to come from. So I want to cite the Journal and Courier and Bob Kriebel for these stories. The first story: the incredible story of a young Lafayette man bicycling near Stockwell the night of May 1st, 1897. Predates by a full half century the UFO or flying saucer stories that bombarded America in the summer of 1947. That was referring to the Roswell incident. There is simply no explanation for the man's vision of two human like creatures outside a cigar shaped airship which sped into the night, lights blinking the instant he was seen. Nor have there ever been satisfactory explanations for many other UFO reports from all over America and regions of the world. There have been four major episodes reported to authorities in the Lafayette area since 1897. So I just told you the first one. So let's unpack this one a little bit, Kevin. I actually did not read these before because I wanted to keep it fresh. So I was
Yeah.
reading it with you guys, and I find it very, very coincidental that you subscribed the cigar shaped ship
Mm-hmm.
or the cigar shaped airship. And then boom, boom, first story here. First account of witness was seeing two creatures outside of a cigar shaped ship. Say that 10 times fast, by the way.
Yeah, right?
Cigar shaped ship. Well, would you like me to read another one, Kev?
Yeah, I think I'm getting
Okay.
close, but I'm not for sure. But I have to go page by. I have so much fucking chicken scratch in this journal.
Oh, that's fine. So here are some of the four stories that happened in Tippecanoe County, Lafayette area. Just after midnight, the morning of Sunday, July 15th, 1947, a Lafayette man named Forrest Hooper, sorry, who then lived at 535 South 4th Street, was returning to Lafayette from Logansport. He was in his, again, this is weird. He was in the car traveling southwesternly on Indiana 25 when he said he noticed a fast traveling red glow, which he thought at first was a falling meteor. Hooper said the glow seemed to be coming from the vicinity of Logansport, but did not fall to the ground like a meteor. Instead, it traveled along at high speeds until it disappeared from view. It had a strange, dark red glow in the form of a disk as it journeyed across the sky. Hooper added the object moved too fast to enable him to get any better look at it, and its speed prevented him from getting much of an impression as to its size. So that story happened right, on 25. Again, it was kind of weird. It's kind of out by that 26 area, coming back from Kokomo/Logansport area,
Mm-hmm.
um, which I mean, who knows back then? Grissom was a little bit more active back then, so maybe it was something related to that. I don't know. Um, that's just it's weird. So that's just cool that it happened. It's something that happened in our area. Have you had any luck, Kev?
No, I have not.
All right, story times with James now continues.
Right?
We got another story from our Lafayette, Indiana area. Let me take a drink and rip. What is that called? Quench my palate. All right. On November 19th, 1951, a flying saucer trailed by two Air Force jets was reported flying east over the Elston area about 9 a.m. by Carl Hartman, who lived 2 miles south of Lafayette on Shadeland Road. He said he was coming out of his barn when he looked up and saw a great big silver disc flying east at jet speed. Its flat side was to the ground. He said, and his ground side shape was generally round except for a rectangular protuberance at the rear. The jet planes, he said, left vapor trails The flying disc did not. So it was something more advanced. A check at the Silver Aeronautics Authority office at Purdue University brought the information that no jet planes has checked in by radio at that hour, but it is that it's possible that the two were in the area since some jets are almost consistently in the territory. So
What
they
was that?
could say
What was that place that the crash landing happened?
Cape Girardeau. The CAA representative Raymond King said he had no information or reports of disc or the two planes. So this is a man out in Shadeland, kind of around the area of the Purdue airport. Then he clearly it's low enough that this disc is seen, and who knows? It could have been a test run from Grissom. It could have been because the around the Air Force back in 1950s, 1951. If you guys have ever been to the Wright Patterson Air Force Base Museum, they have one of these flying saucers that is almost identical to what he described. It was did some tests around in the 50s, never really went very far or never really traveled um, very good even. Then it was retired in the early 60s after it didn't really make it out of test series. But there is a flying disc, so who knows? This could have been related to that. They could have been test flying it, and that's why the two jets were tasting it. But that's still a cool story that happened around here in Lafayette, Indiana. Um, I got one more, Kev. If you want me to keep going,
Go ahead.
while we're oh, he said go ahead. All right, actually, we got two more. All right. At 9:10 p.m. Saturday, July 12th, 1952, dozens of reports from residents of Tippecanoe, Clinton, Montgomery counties poured in, telling of a fiery object whizzing across the skies. It was the most widely reported flying saucer since the UFO craze began in 1947. Among the observers were Mr. and Mrs. J.F. Schreiner, right? And seven of their guests, Mr. and Mrs. John Arnold Lafayette, who were on the side porch of the Schreiner home. Mrs. Schreiner said the object was shaped something like a funnel with the small end leading and that was brightly luminescent. It looked like a shiny fishtail with flames shooting out the back. It was overhead about 2,500 feet for about 5 or 6 seconds. That's pretty close. That's really close. So it was traveling about 2,500 feet, just chilling there for 5 or 6 seconds so they could see it. When it went over the house, it appeared to be headed northwest. Then, when it appeared to be over the Purdue campus, it headed southwest. It appeared to be smaller than an airplane, the observer said. Shortly before 9:30 p.m., Indianapolis residents reported sighting the flying disc at the Purdue airport. The CCC observer said there had seen no flying funnel, but they said they have received many reports of it, especially from Indianapolis. UFO reports over the decades have always seemed to be more credible when they turned in by like an airline pilot or that. That's true. So that's why they're trying to get these stories backed up by like this back then the civil authority, the CAA's would have been like your air traffic control back then that could have brought this to light. So there are some stories from around here that was really cool. That one was weird. Yeah, there was one more, but there's not really much context to this story. This last one, it says Lafayette's most spectacular UFO account came from a state trooper. So the only reason why this came into light and gave it more credibility, more everything, really, is it was because it came from a state trooper who saw its eerie light near Clarks Hill in 1954, and he tried chasing it, but to no avail. He was not able to catch up with it. Then it was just written as a report as an unidentified flying object, and that was that from that story. You're over there. Are you lost, Kev? What's up?
Yeah, I am.
You can just give up, bud. You can give up on that,
Yeah.
bud. He's over here trying to look up something that was related to the Purdue University story of when the 1941 Cape. Oh, are we not live anymore?
No, we are.
Oh, my computer just says, "Oh, sorry, we're having trouble playing this video." Huh.
No.
You can still
Hopefully,
see me, right?
yeah, I can still see you. I
All
still
right.
see us on stream and everything, so it looks like
Oh,
everything
cool.
should be fine.
My Facebook just kind of said we can't play this video anymore, and then sorry, we're having trouble playing this video anymore. Okay, there we go. Maybe
If anyone's
we'll let
having,
go. There we
yeah, if anyone's having issues,
Okay,
go
we're
ahead
back.
and refresh and let
Sorry.
us know. Yeah.
Yeah, it did it for me, so I just want to make sure they probably cited us for, like, oh, they're talking about UFOs, take them down. But this brings us back to, if you're just joining us tonight, the main reason why we're talking about tonight is the FBI, the let me get the mention of this unidentified aerial phenomena task force, and the FBI and the Office of Naval Intelligence have 180 days to present a committee with all the UFO findings everywhere. So we're saying we are going to find out around July 4th. This is perfect. I mean, literally, I'm going to watch Independence Day on repeat, waiting for us to tell us that
Ah,
aliens are real.
I found it.
Did you find it?
The
Oh, good, good, good.
transistor. The transistor was
The
created.
transistor. Okay, there you
Yes.
go. So
By
back to the
Bell
case.
Laboratories.
So the back to that. That is related to the UFO crash of 1941
Yes.
on Cape Girardeau, and then the wreckage was sent to Purdue University. Then they say from that wreckage is where they got the modern day transistor, which led into our whole craze of everything, anything and
Yeah.
everything electronic, really.
Yeah, you're talking the microwave was invented shortly after that. Uh, there, what is it? There was a whole bunch of things. I wish I had a whole list, and I can't
Yeah,
find
I
it,
know.
and I
The
hate myself
microwave
at
was
the
one of
moment.
those.
Yeah, microwave was
The
one. Um, they
UV
eventually
light, wasn't it?
they eventually
No, not that.
in 1970s made some changes to the transistor and made some upgrades to it and started early adoption of wireless
Microchips.
phones. Wireless
That's
phones.
right. Right.
And I'm not talking like the typical cell phones that you're accustomed, but like taking the uh phone off the wall and not having a connection to it. They were able to do those kinds of things, and yeah,
So that was the one. So that's what that was related to. That
and and,
crash was
and the reason
them
why
drops
we
at
were
Purdue.
the reason why we were able to connect the transistor to this wreckage is because of who they supposed gave this
Or
technology to at Purdue
was
University.
okay.
You can trace where he was hired, the person who was told that they gave this technology to, and they started at Bell Labs. And then Bell Labs, shortly after he started, I think it was like a couple years, they invented the transistor. So,
Exactly.
yeah, I mean, that's fucking hard to like
It's
turn
weird that
down.
this wreckage was delivered to this person. This person takes said job, and then all of a sudden, new technology.
Yeah, I wish I had all the information because I had names, I had
Well,
dates and
we have time. We'll look it up when we do the committee hearing and everything like
yes.
that when we're doing that. Now, Mike, you did has a question in the chat. Would they have to reveal the details about the Men in Black? If it's related to UFOs, I would assume so, but I would assume that would come in the classified area or the classified annex of the document.
But
But I also think the unidentified aerial phenomena task force could be something we consider as the Men in Black per se, because that's the actual task force that's dedicated to keeping track of the UFO phenomena and investigating it.
so my personal thought is no. And the reason why I say no is because they're talking about advanced aerial threats. They're not asking about what other groups are looking into this, like this hidden group called, the Men in Black, whatever they're actually called. Um, they're just going to talk, if they do talk about anything, it's going to be about extraterrestrials and like aliens and not necessarily aliens as beings because they don't have to give away that information. They can just talk about the ships, like the unidentified flights that they've captured, and that's it.
Yeah,
They don't
and
they don't
that could
have to
be it.
go like they don't have to go in super detail.
Nope.
Nothing that
They can
I've
say, "Hey,
read.
we've
Um,
documented these videos. We documented these UFOs. That's all we're presenting to you. We're not giving you what the investigation into these things were, but just to tell you these happened."
yeah, they could be subsets that then later happen on the ground. But they're talking about aerial things. You know, it could be like you know, thread the needle on that. They might not, you know, have to do
True.
anything with that. And they also talked
It's
about AI intelligence in this as well.
there is a section about automated, the artificial
AI,
intelligence.
yeah. And
There is
I'm not
because they're
seeing
trying to
it.
get. I believe it was they're trying to open up the like the hold on it, or the, you know what I mean, like the, so they can do other stuff with it and incorporate it into weapons and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think that's what that was, but that's a whole different nutshell and a whole different nut to crack itself. I
Yeah.
do want to take this moment to thank you guys for tuning in with us. We are going to be watching a video here in a second. We're going to keep this one right about an hour because it's a work night for all of us. Also, make sure you go to our merch page. Uh, Kevin, can you post a link in the chat for us?
Well, it's at the top.
Oh, it's at the top. The merch right there. Yeah,
James,
go there. There's a Oh, it's right
yeah,
there.
this way. The other way.
This way.
Yeah,
That way.
any opposite direction you think. Check that
It's right
out. We
there.
do have some cool stuff there.
There's a
Josh was
donation
just
page.
well, actually, let me see. I might have a second here. Show this off.
There it is. I'm dumb. I was watching myself point. So check that out. Help us out. We don't have stars activated quite yet.
We're working
Uh,
on it. So that was part of the impromptu to this. So everyone understands we're trying to be more consistent on here. We are, I think, going to pick up another day to stream, and it's going to be video games because right now we don't have anything. We can't go anywhere, but it might turn into Randonautica once everyone is a little bit more,
yep.
you know,
Able to move around the
move
country.
around. Yeah. So it could definitely turn into other things. We appreciate your support and coming in, and when we're playing video games, come chat. If you have a question about the paranormal or something, just jump in and talk to us
Absolutely.
because that's one of the things that's the whole point of it is just to chat with everyone about their concerns, kind of like a Q&A.
Okay.
But
Now, Kev,
just showing
we
off our
did.
merch a little bit. Go check, keep
You're
going.
just showing off right now.
Yeah,
Oh,
just a
are
little
you?
bit of merch.
Okay. So while he's showing off a little bit of our merch, I don't even own any of these much merch yet. I need to buy some of our own merch so I can wear it because I want myself on a T-shirt because it's freaking cool. You
Yeah,
get your bags there, you get your cups, you get your sweatshirts, your zip ups. Boom, boom. Look at that one. That one's awesome. Look
we
at that
have
mask.
we have
That
this
mask
one.
is sweet.
That little backpack. It's pretty cool. It has one of our
Yep,
pieces
I
of
do.
equipment.
Yep, yep, yep. And then you got our shirts, and my favorite right there is our
Oh,
logo shirt down, the black one, straight down, the logo shirt.
yep, just the
That
plain
is my
logo shirt.
the plain logo shirt's my favorite.
And you can't change
So
these colors. And what I will say about these, I just as a thought, just so everyone is aware, these are stickers. They do come off pretty easily, unfortunately. We are sorry about that. I mean, it's the manufacturer. This is our first time doing this, so we don't have too much control over this stuff. But maybe in the future, if this kind of stuff takes off, and you guys are really interested in it, we'll maybe pick up a different company that has better decals on there.
let's get back to what we're talking about.
Yep,
All right, so we have been, like we do with every other podcast. I was able to drum up a Nuke's top 5
that's
of
right.
UFOs of the skies, of unidentified flying objects, the skies. So for you tuning in there, let's get this going. We're gonna run this video, give our input on it real quick, and that'll be the end of our show. And if you guys have any questions, post in the chat. Let's roll this.
Give me just a sec here. All right. Swap over to that.
I'm organized, guys. I research. I've been getting better at this. I got a whole, podcast folder with all my research in it. From that has the Mothman show in it, and this one. I'm doing good, guys. I'm gonna keep
And
going for 2021.
I am gonna post Nuke's website, his YouTube page. Do go
Yes,
like it.
please follow and share.
Subscribe to it. It doesn't cost anything. It's just YouTube. It notifies you and it helps him with revenue and
And
things like that. So give a like
he's
to
a very,
this.
very good. He does very, very good videos, and he explains them himself and gives us a good route
Yeah.
of being able to discuss these things with you guys. So there's
And
the
it's
link
playing.
in the. Okay.
5 unexplained mysteries in the sky, caught on camera. Sky spiral. On December 2009, just before sunrise, a strange light appeared in the northern skies of Norway. Now, this is not something that would ordinarily be considered strange, considering Norway is well known for its northern lights, which are caused by
I'm
naturally
stoked for this.
occurring solar storms. But this particular event was very different. What started out as a simple glowing beam turned into something unexplainable as the amazing phenomena started spinning into a perfect spiral. Then suddenly, the hundreds of miles wide spiral seemed to get swallowed by a black hole. Witnesses were stunned. The mysterious spiraling blue light show soon caught the attention of news networks internationally.
Stargazers have a big mystery on their hands, a giant spiral of light that suddenly appeared over northern Norway.
Norwegians were treated to a spectacular light show early Wednesday morning that immediately set tongues wagging, everyone asking what created that giant blue pinwheel in the sky.
After contacting multiple sources and getting very few answers, the news outlets ultimately speculated that the event might have been a failed Russian rocket test. So, what do you think? Do you believe it was just a rocket test gone wrong, or proof that there's more out there than the government tells us? Let me know your opinion in the comments down below.
Yeah, interesting. Hey, I can't hear you.
I got to
Oh,
mute.
there you go.
I got the fancy microphone now, so I can just touch it to mute it and everything. So you guys are welcome. I sound amazing. Sorry, I get talking and I forget to mute this computer. So
He's
I'm
too
running the stream
excited.
off.
He's too
No,
excited.
so stoked. I don't know what to do. No,
So go ahead. I have my thought on this.
a failed rocket mission or a failed rocket launch. Why would it in turn just go into a black hole and just disappear? If it's a failed rocket, wouldn't you see shrapnel and stuff hit the ground?
Yes.
Am I not wrong? That's what I would think. There's my thought on it. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
So that is it. That's what you think?
I mean, I think it could have been something cool, but me being a theater guy, I know I can create that same effect with a very expensive light, intelligent light, the spiral, and make the iris open up and make it look like exactly how that spiral looked as it disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
So I know, and there is a way of doing it with fog. And if you notice, it's a very hazy night that night. So I know it can be faked, but that's going to be really hard to do.
Yeah. So okay. Here's my thought. And I'm gonna switch this over because I have an image of it.
Okay.
Let me put that in there.
While you do that, I'm grabbing a Coke.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, so this is Native American art that I've seen a lot. There's a lot of historical unanswered questions of why this is carved in stone. I mean, what if, this is what we saw and it is the way certain extraterrestrials um you know, uh, leave our area, and this is what they give, and that's why we see these carvings, and that's why we saw it again. It's the same ones that the Native Americans seen, or Indian tribes, or the Mayans and Aztecs. I don't know exactly what age all these were done in, so excuse my mis my dates and the wrong tribes being said, but I mean, these carvings are, I mean, there's carvings in Georgia, all the way
Now that you
following.
put it that way,
Yeah. Did you hear everything? Like
no, I
I
came back and saw a butthole on the screen.
No, this is Native American carving.
I know, and they're sighted around the world. I know.
Yeah, and this is
I didn't make the connection until you actually
uh-huh.
physically had the picture up.
I haven't
Yeah.
seen that video, and this is as soon as I saw that video, I was like, because you sent it to me, I didn't even look. And normally with
Yeah.
nukes, I
I
watch
didn't even
one.
look.
I only watch one just to make sure. Um, but if like it's gonna fit the theme, but yeah, that I didn't even watch. You said we need to play this one. I said okay, but
I just said Nuke's got good videos. I don't even have to watch them anymore.
yeah,
I pick one for the element of surprise. So I actually agree with you there in this aspect. If you take this way, it kind
what
of can be related back to this.
what if it's the extraterrestrial leaving, and this is what it gives, and then once it like when it finishes leaving, it dissipates into that black hole.
We don't. There's no guidebook on this, like ghost hunting either.
Well, I'm just saying, like that's a solid hypothesis. Like
No,
that's a
that is great.
solid idea, you know?
I completely agree. hmm I completely agree, man. So let's roll the second one.
Let me switch to us real quick so I can make some changes to that. Close it out. And all right, let's play the next
Yeah,
one.
Mike. It could be a portal to enter too,
Yeah, yeah,
or a
yeah.
portal to leave,
Or they're just creating the portal, you know, and they go
and that's
through and that's
exactly
how
what
it
they're doing.
dissipates. Yeah, totally.
We don't know. So we'll switch over and let's watch the second one of nukes.
The Ring of Smoke. This eerie footage taken in Kazakhstan has residents and online viewers convinced it's definitive proof of extraterrestrial life. On April 4th, 2015, confused locals watched as a mysterious cloud began to hover ominously over the village of Shortendy. The cloud hovered there for 15 minutes before it vanished as quickly as it appeared. Some believe the black cloud formation to be a naturally occurring weather event known as a thermal microburst, which is caused by a falling mass of warm air. However, what makes this theory questionable is that these microbursts are caused by bad weather, usually a thunderstorm or even a tornado. In the video, it's clear that there are absolutely no signs of bad weather present, not even another cloud in the sky. Skyquakes.
All right. I don't know how far behind you might be. You're muted.
I did it again. See, yeah, what he said about those the clouds don't form. I thought that's the first thing I thought about. But usually it's in bad weather. That's completely blue skies. That's weird.
That one, I don't know.
That one I do not know.
If I was like a meteorologist or if there
If I
are
had more
cloud
knowledge
experts,
of
I
weather,
don't know.
yeah.
Yeah, then maybe I could give a better because that I mean it does look like some type of weather phenomenon. Um,
Yeah.
but I have no idea. I don't think it's alien personally, and the reason why I don't think it's alien, is you know I don't think aliens are gonna leave a puff of smoke when they leave. You know, like
Unless their airship needed an oil change.
yeah,
But
I don't think they're using oil. You know, we gassed up at the local 7-Eleven. They stared at us real weird, but I'm pretty sure they were all drunk or high.
yeah, that's funny. All right, let's roll our third one.
Skyquakes.
There's an odd phenomena that has been reported around the world where loud noises can be heard that actually seem to emanate from the very sky itself. Sounds range from loud pulsing booms to audio that seems almost musical. The phenomena is so common that it has even been given a name: skyquakes. Now, no one knows the source of these skyquakes, but some theorists speculate that the sounds could have possible extraterrestrial or UFO origins. One thing is certain, these strange sounds have been reported by news outlets all over the world.
There's been a lot of buzz over the last few weeks about strange sounds being heard in the atmosphere. People around the world and here at home have reported hearing some bizarre noises.
They've heard a loud boom coming from the skies last night.
Heard and felt a loud noise around 12:30 Central Time this afternoon.
The area's been plagued by loud, booming sounds. Problem is, no one knows where the sound is coming from.
I'm going to try and describe it for everyone here, okay? If you took a whale's mating call, added a 5th grader learning to play French horn, and threw in some cheeseball ghost sound effects from a haunted house, that would be like the noise that a lot of people woke up to in St. Paul this morning.
The creepy sounds have also been documented by YouTube users worldwide. Other non-UFO conspiracy theories for the cause of these sounds range all the way from secret government weather control devices to even the assertion by some religious groups that the sounds herald the beginning of the apocalypse. So what do you think these weird sounds are? Let me know in the comments below.
Okay. Muted. You'll get
I gotta
there.
get used to that. I gotta get used to this thing, man.
Yeah.
So like how I can have this one back and I can, interact still.
Mhm.
It's good enough. It's a nice one. But to me, I actually heard. I remember seeing this being a thing. It was a year or two ago in England, with the trumpet sounding, and some people think it has a biblical aspect as been called angels. Yeah, exactly. Some of these have been called angel trumpetings, stuff like that. So people think it has a biblical aspect of it, but some think it's just I don't know. That's about it.
Yeah. I mean, what the fuck? I had never heard of this.
Oh, really?
Yeah, never heard of this. I have
It's a
heard
huge
of
thing.
I've heard
A
of the
year
hum.
ago.
I've heard of the hum that everyone
No,
hears,
look,
but this is
no, the
completely
horns.
different.
Yeah, it started coming out. It was a couple of years ago. It first got reported over in England. I remember. Excuse me.
Easy there.
I know I got a hiccup there. But I remember it being a big thing last year. People reporting it in Canada and in England, and they were saying that's kind of like the first sign of the apocalypse. And then, heck, look at us now. We're having a pandemic, so maybe they were right. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, you're not far
is
off
weird.
then.
Yeah. So it's really now that I think about it, I'm like, oh.
I mean, I mean, what if something? So, let's see. Probably scarier for. Yeah.
Yeah, they're
No.
probably scary because just an eerie sound that you normally don't hear, but it engulfs you
Yeah.
and where you're at. So it sounds like it's coming from above.
Spencer, thanks for following.
Thanks, Spencer. But you know
But
what I mean? It's like it that's what you know what I mean?
Yeah, no,
Like
I
we,
definitely.
I can't say it because I live in Lafayette and I hear weird sounds like this all the time, but it's usually coming from the train tracks downtown.
Yeah, I mean, what if there's just like a vibration in the
Yeah,
air that is, I mean, if it vibrates at a certain frequency, it will hit resistances and those resistances start to create
yes.
sounds.
Or maybe
Um,
in Kiev, you can that's next to a port. Maybe it was a ship scraping up against something. I mean, there's several things
yeah.
that run through my head because that could signify the metal and the wave, and the different soundings of the low and the highs.
Hmm.
But all those places aren't next to a port,
No. Excuse me.
so
Yeah, I had never heard of this until that.
well, maybe
So
we'll do a show just on that.
maybe.
I don't know. Stay tuned. Let's hit the next one, Kev.
Cool.
Floating City.
This video surfaced out of China, and it looks like their city is floating in the clouds. Of course,
Now, here's a bizarre one for you, an actual floating city in the sky. Or is it? At least 5 times over the last 6 years, this mysterious phenomenon has occurred in the skies over China. The latest strange event taking place this year on April 21st, 2017. Now, it's undeniable that this is a real event, considering how many times the mysterious floating city has appeared, and each time it's been captured on camera by multiple witnesses. But opinions on just what it is vary. Now, one of the strange leading theories is that the floating city is a hologram produced by the authorities carrying out a, quote, Project Bluebeam test. Project Bluebeam is a conspiracy theory which believes that NASA plans to one day use holograms and telepathy to simulate an alien invasion of Earth or even the second coming of Christ. Another theory is that it's a portal from a different dimension, giving us a brief glimpse of a city in another part of the universe. Now, the previous theories seem more like movie plots than actual science. So, the most believable theory is that the floating city is merely a fata morgana. A fata morgana is a mirage that causes observers to see images that are sometimes upside down or stacked one on top of the other. It's caused by light rays being bent by extremely dense air. One example is when traveling on a road on a hot day and you might see water in the distance, water which will then disappear when you come close. Whichever theory is true, that's up to you to decide.
Unmute James.
What's that?
Interesting. So I've seen this.
I've seen
Um,
that one.
yeah. I thought
I
it was fake. I didn't realize how prevalent it had become in the area.
I didn't know there was that many in that area.
Yeah, like you're talking 5 different times.
But
Um,
also, could that area just be to the, just uh, what was I gonna say? That like this that mirage thing happens all the time. It could be that's just the right area for it too.
but it looked really high up in the air. Looked really high up in the air for a mirage.
It's true.
So
Because I've seen
I struggle with the
I ha-
Mirage. It's probably
yeah.
the most likely. I mean, it's definitely not Project Bluebeam. God damn, tinfoil hats were heavy on that one.
Jesus.
They talked about, the second coming of Christ and how NASA's gonna
Yep.
project that. Yeah, it's a little heavy on the tinfoil there, buddy.
Little
But
heavy on it.
sure.
I do like the theory of like the pseudoscience kind of thing of the
I
interdimensional.
Yeah, I like the
Those
portal
portals.
idea. And just like, because I mean, it's not been proven that there are multiple dimensions. But there's a theory that I don't think you'll ever be able to prove, but there's a theory out there, a working theory that there are multiple dimensions out there,
Yeah.
and there are some there are some real, pieces of things that, could lead to that better explains some of the things going on, but it's hard to prove.
Yep. I agree. So we got one more, don't we?
Yeah, that was definitely a crazy one to me, though. One sec
That was a
here.
crazy one, yeah. So let's go through our last one here, then we'll wrap things.
UFO near Paris. In September 2016, a disc-shaped object appeared over Paris, France. A witness captured it on camera, at first believing it to be a helicopter. Only after zooming in did the skeptic begin to doubt his own theory. In the footage, it's clear that the object is not anything you'd normally see in the sky. It has a saucer shape and moves very slowly through the clouds. Now, most UFO videos are very easy to debunk, but this one seems much more realistic than most. If you look close, you can see light reflecting off the circular object. The clip also seems more believable because the camera operator actually zooms and focuses on the object several times. This video is either a special effects video created by someone who took a lot of time to create this saucer-shaped object in exceptional detail, or it's actual footage of a UFO. So, what do you think? Share your thoughts down in the comments.
So yeah. Mute.
Huh.
Um,
So that one is hard to believe because of the CGI of it. But to me, it looked like a blimp, and it looked like a blimp off in the distance.
that's a really high up blimp. I don't think they can be that high, but I'm not a blimp expert by any stretch of the means.
Me either.
But
Or it's like you said, it could have been a really well CGI
yeah,
effect too.
I want to believe that. I want to believe that one.
I want to believe it too, and hopefully here in July we find out more.
Yeah. So aliens, do they exist to you?
Do they exist? I don't know. Do they exist to me?
Yeah. What's your personal?
Some,
It's a good way to end it.
My personal opinion about aliens. There has to be something out there. We cannot be the only intelligent life in the world, in the universe. There's no way. I mean, you're dumb to think. I mean, I'm not calling you dumb, but I mean, it's just dumb to think that there's not something else out there that's alive.
Yeah, you're probably more on the naive side to believe things aren't out there.
Yeah.
Personally, so my theory on this is like, what are we doing now? We're trying to find places that are habitable. We're looking way out there in the cosmos to see, are there other Earths that could possibly support life? And that is a fascination that we have. But if uh, if we had the chance, we'd go. We would go to those places.
We are the aliens.
Yeah, we would be the aliens in like, but that's totally what other places are doing. If they're way more advanced than us, they're just going out like they're fucking bored. Let's see, that's interesting. That's different. We've never seen that. Let's go there. We've been we've gone through a lot of the cosmos. There's life here. Let's see what kind of life it is. I mean, it's nature. It's like it's curiosity. And I think that is nature. Everything gets curious. You see a dog, sniff at something, trying to figure out what it is. I mean, that's just life. It gets curious.
Yep, I agree. I
Oh,
agree.
Kayla wants the God's helmet.
Talk to him with the God's helmet. All right. We're saving up our money. Get people to donate.
Yeah, we're the God's helmet is a helmet that has a bunch of diodes on it and sends electrical information. And it was actually the question: can we handle knowing there's life out there? Well, I mean, if we can handle 2020, we can handle life out there.
Let's explain the God's helmet.
Yeah, but the God's helmet. So, it's a obviously it's a helmet you put on. It has diodes on the inside, and there's also another version of it that they're exposed diodes that you just put onto your head, but it sends electrodes to your brain, and you're supposed to have like a biblical. They described early versions of this as a biblical
Physical
experience, like an
experience. Yep.
awakening. And then it turned into like a spiritual, and then now it's like you're talking to something. It could be an alien phenomenon
Or
side
it
of
could be a
things.
spiritual phenomenon.
Yeah. So
But the God's helmet's what, right around $700 that it's going to take some time to buy.
yeah, so trying to save up for that and get a better. We can't go anywhere, so we're not in a really rush to buy it. Like, I mean, we are because it's a very cool and very unique item, and you never know when they stop making them in this
That's true.
in this era. You just never know.
And
Um,
then Mike, you'll see it used in Hellier if you
in Hellier, yeah, you'll see it being used. Hellier is not known for its um normal TV
production
show.
quality.
Well,
Yeah, no.
yeah, it is low
It's higher
budget.
production.
Yeah, it's higher production than, your average paranormal group throwing together a YouTube video about the paranormal. It's way higher than that. But it's not like, you know, the things you see on Travel Channel, which I think is a good thing.
Yeah.
I'm just throwing that area out there as an example, not to throw any shows under the bus, but personally, I find Hellier to be refreshing in the sense of what it brings. It brings more evidence as far as like fact checking, looking up certain things to learn about the area, not necessarily like, ooh, I see a ghost. It's paranormal. We caught it. Or was it paranormal? Did we catch it? It brings you more into the um, research of things, and you
Yep.
get pulled in, just like a murder mystery. They start telling you the details of the case and the facts and everything, and they do the same thing with this. They tell you the details of the case, the facts that they found out, and just take you through the story. It's pretty sweet, and they use some paranormal equipment like the God's helmet.
So check it out. It's awesome.
Oh, and the
And the
synchronicities, yes.
synchronicities, yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. It's our favorite word now. But I want to thank you guys. Oh, you got more?
Well, just a little tidbit. I believe Josh and maybe Kayla are going to be streaming tomorrow. If anyone is
Tomorrow they
interested,
are?
yes, we haven't announced it or anything because this is all being like thrown together, just trying to get us, the stars and just get us more consistent on here. They're going to be playing World of Warcraft. Not everyone's into it, but it is something slower pace where they can interact with chat if anyone wants to come in and talk with them about
Thanks,
ideas
Mike.
they
We
find.
really appreciate it.
Yeah, you've been consistent, and we really
We appreciate
appreciate.
it.
And we hope
That's
once
awesome.
COVID ends, we can do a lot more. We have a place that we
We
can
can
go
do live events
consistently.
and everything.
Yeah, we have a place we can go consistently to that has cameras that we can show all. How many cameras are in there? 16?
32.
32. Jesus Christ, I was only half off.
Yeah.
Yeah, and hopefully, we can bring that to you guys when things calm down. So, we're just trying to build up a viewer base and a community, and be
Exactly.
positive and bring some awesome stuff to you guys. So, we appreciate you guys just tuning into our video games right now and our podcast when we do it. So,
And then our next podcast will be did we
yeah,
say Saturday?
yeah.
Saturday, 9 p.m. We'll be on live. We'll announce a topic tomorrow.
Jamie, thank you for tuning in. If you
Yeah.
haven't, go ahead and like and follow so you get
Jamie,
notifications.
hi. I was saying, I know. Hi.
I'll let you.
Yeah. But awesome. Thanks for joining in, guys. We will be back at it again Saturday night. And
You'll catch another podcast
Hey,
episode then
yeah,
if you're interested in just
another
the podcast.
episode then. Apparently they're gaming tomorrow.
Friday we have another
So
game that we'll be doing, and Sunday I think we'll be doing another game. So you might see more one-on-one people on slightly individuals. So, but yeah.
Oh, I knew it was Sean. I knew it was him.
But that's all we got for you
Thanks
guys.
for tuning in.
We appreciate it. Have a good night and get some
Yes,
rest.
have a great night, guys.